Holy man, okay, we gotta talk about this trailer, especially that ending. Like, I don't know what it is, but I noticed that in season 10, but I would say this trailer even more so than previous trailers of The Walking Dead, but it just feels so cinematic. This feels like a Walking Dead movie, and you could just imagine what that Rick Grimes trailer is going to feel like. Like if for a television show, if this feels this cinematic, imagine for the Rick Grimes movie. Imagine what it's actually going to feel like. Anyways, I want to talk about this trailer. There's going to be so much to break down here because there is a lot to talk about, so I might do videos tomorrow. Actually, not might, I'm going to do videos talking about things more in depth because there was so much stuff here to talk about that I don't know if I'll be able to fit all of it in 10 minutes, but I'm going to try. So let's just jump into that. So before we go any further, I do have to warn you for spoilers, obviously, in the sense of just what this trailer has shown. And if you are new here and you want more Walking Dead content like this, the show is coming back in like 5 weeks or so, basically a little over a month. And so if you want reviews and breakdowns of any footage or just things like that in general, then just make sure to be a subscriber. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about here is the Commonwealth footage, which is weirdly like the least, for me anyways, it is the least exciting part to everything going on. Obviously, I am excited for the Commonwealth to show up and to get into that storyline, but I'm actually more interested in the Here's Negan stuff and the Maggie and Daryl stuff with Herschel and like, you know, Negan killing his father and just that drama there. I'm really excited for these 6 new episodes because it is actually going to focus on the things that I've been wanting them to focus on for a long time. You know, like Daryl dealing with the fact that Rick is gone. And like there's this shot right here of him screaming. And you can tell here that this is from some point in the past and this is probably him looking for Rick, not being able to find him and just the frustrations of that, you know. And that's the thing, I'm hoping the writers really got into Daryl's head because this is someone who, like, Rick is so important to Daryl. Rick is so important to everyone. Daryl saw what happened to Rick. If Daryl didn't walk away like he did, maybe he would have found his body right away. But to lose him and then to just not be able to find the body anywhere, to not be able to like literally find Rick anywhere, must be so frustrating, right? Because like think logically about that, right? Like there is nowhere his body could have really went. It went in the river and it went downstream to the shore. Yeah, like we do get that. But he went everywhere, right? Like he looked in all of those places. His body should have been there. He probably went in the water and looked for his body. I mean, there would have been a body floating. He looked everywhere for that thing and he can't find his body anywhere. He probably asked people, did you see this? Did you find this? Anyone he came across? He was out there searching all the time, looking at every single walker to see if Rick was a walker. And it's just this frustrating. He can't find his body. And so I hope they really get into his head with that because Daryl's still in that mindset to this day, which is going to be really shocking and just amazing when he finds out that he is still alive out there. But the Commonwealth here, we see them knocking everyone out, and then they're saying, where were you when the fall happened? So I think this is what they do to interrogate everyone. Like, I think this is how they interrogated basically everyone who was in that group there, like Ezekiel, Princess, Eugene, and Yumiko, right? Like, they interrogated everyone like this. They're asking where they're all from. And then there's a shot later on, actually, that I do want to add in here, which is it's this shot here of everyone outside. Now, this happens during the day, and we know there's going to be a scene where they all wake up in train carts, right? Like there's this scene here where it's nighttime, they all get, you know, attacked and thrown into these train carts. We did get a table read scene where we see Princess waking up and she's communicating with Ezekiel and Eugene, and they're talking about what they should do, this and that. Well, this is happening during the day, and they have these black bags or whatever over their head. So my guess is they tried to escape, but they got caught or something, and then Princess got interrogated by, I'm thinking it's going to be a new comic character named Lance Hornsby. This here is just what happens later on. At the end here of this episode, I do think we're going to learn that they are being taken to the Commonwealth. We're going to learn about their community, and we'll just have to see where this ends. Like this here, this episode is definitely going to be the big setup for the final season. Like they are going to end this episode where you're wondering, okay, well, what's going to happen next then? Because it has to somehow tie in to what happens in the final season, because this is the next arc, right? They are not just going to leave it in some place where they are just starting to travel or something like that. Like they are going to leave this episode, I think, on a cliffhanger. And then the next 2 episodes afterwards will be more of the resolution to certain storylines with Negan and Carol and Daryl and Maggie and stuff like that. Going back to the shot here of Daryl, we see him entering this cabin, and I think this is where he's going to run into this woman here, played by I believe her name is Lynn Collins. And yeah, I mean, the footage I will say looks amazing. Like, it definitely looks a lot different. The other footage, I am happy they released it, obviously, just because we got some kind of look into those episodes. But you can tell these episodes have been worked on and they are probably close to being ready to release. I mean, they are releasing them in a little over a month. Grant Nicotero did say that it takes like 3 weeks, or like the episode will be done 3 weeks before an episode airs. So I'm guessing the first one should be done roughly within the next 2 weeks, like completed, solid, just done. It's a solid episode and just release it. We have some shots here of Father Gabriel, and then, yeah, this is just a better looking shot of the previous one. Ezekiel here, this is probably from that episode. We have Aaron here, and this is a new shot. This is them entering this one building here. We have Aaron on the bottom, and then there's a shot here of Gabriel on top. Now, I don't know who, there is someone there. I don't know if it looks like a walker though, or something like that, but it says save us. Someone was staying up there. Now, we have this shot here of Robert Patrick, and man, does he look terrifying here. He just looks absolutely scary. Whatever. I'm hoping that's not him for real. Yeah, I don't know what they did, but he has some burn marks there, some kind of scarring or anything, something. But we have Aaron here. I mean, Ross Marquand is an amazing actor. I don't know what's going on here, but this just looks absolutely, like, this actually looks like it's going to be a very good episode. I do think some people are underestimating how great this episode is going to be, and you can just tell from the acting and the intensity of these scenes. Aaron screaming here, and I think this is Robert Patrick's character holding a gun to him, and he's saying 3, 2, 1. Like, I guess he's gonna shoot himself, or maybe Robert Patrick is gonna pull the trigger, or, you know, it could be something like that because he's not revealing maybe where Alexandria is, or he's not revealing something, or I don't know the exact situation here, but this does definitely look really good. I am really excited for this. And then we have lots of shots here of Daryl and Carol, and this is a lot from their episode there. And again, this is gonna be so hard to talk about because I'm already starting to run out of time here, but we do have this masked figure here, and yeah, he just looks really badass. It definitely looks a lot better now, I would say. The fact that the mask is kind of coming out a little bit, the hood's pulled back a little bit, it looks a lot better. We have this shot here, and I guess let's just jump into that. I guess next is the whole Negan storyline. Now, this shot here this is definitely Negan, and I think you can tell because of the bar here. Well, actually, I don't know who this is on the chair here. I'm guessing this is Negan. It could be someone else, though, for sure. This could even be like Dwight or something like that, and Negan comes in and saves Dwight, right? But probably not. Maybe it's Simon. I don't know. But my guess is it is Negan, and this guy here looks like Joe the Claimer for some reason. I don't know why, but it looks a lot like him anyways. And I'm guessing he was just taken captive because there is this shot right here, and this could be something that happens afterwards. But we have Negan here in this leather jacket. He has a gun, and this is the same bar, and he's walking through. This is a younger Negan. So this is definitely going back to the past, and yeah, I don't know exactly the circumstances here. Maybe when he's in the chair here, he breaks out, and then, you know, but then again, he is wearing that jacket. So I don't know, maybe he does save someone. This is definitely, like, they are changing so much here. Like, this does not happen in the comic at all. A lot is changed here, especially this scene here of Lucille killing this walker here. Because in the comic, Lucille dies just as the apocalypse is happening. Like, it happens basically. Negan looks out the window and he sees like zombies and walkers and stuff just like causing chaos in the streets. And at the same exact time, he turns around and he sees Lucille, his wife, turning to a zombie or a walker, sorry. So it happens right at the same time. Here we have Lucille actually having survived for a little bit, which is actually pretty interesting because I guess the fact that she does have cancer and she doesn't really have that much. Actually, I'm wrong. I don't know. I guess she does have like a chemo bag or something right here. You can see, actually, I'm wrong about that. So maybe she does have some treatment, but maybe they are running out and there's just an issue like that, you know, because they don't have access to hospitals and doctors and things like that. So that definitely would be a scary situation. And we do have this shot here, and I'm guessing this is Negan creating his bat, creating Lucille, and this episode is going to be like all of these episodes. I just have the feeling that these 6 new episodes they're literally going to be the best the show has ever had. It just looks that way. And you can tell from the quality of this show, of just the footage here. Like you can tell. And then we have this shot here of Maggie, and Maggie tells Daryl that Herschel asked how his father died, and she said that a bad man killed him. And he asked, did the bad man get what he deserved? And then Daryl just has this look like, oh shit, because he didn't. And that's the thing about it. And I think that's going to be the whole debate here with Negan, is he didn't get what he deserved, right? Yes, he has helped out a lot, and he's done so much. He's redeemed himself. He's changed himself so much, but he still did that, right? And I think that's going to bring up a lot of things just in real life of someone who killed someone and say real life, right? Say that person, the murderer, actually does change and actually is a really good person and actually has helped people and has saved lives. That's amazing, right? Like in a sense of just that person has changed, good, but does that erase the fact that they did certain things, right? I think it depends to some people. People who are far away from the person who were murdered might be like, yeah, you know what? Like second chance, just forgive them. Or some people might be more in the middle, whereas the people closest to who the person who was murdered, if that was your daughter, son, mom, whoever, dad, you might feel differently. And I think that's definitely, that's where it is very tricky with Negan. And that's where I think the show is definitely going to have a hard time trying to cross that line. I don't think it's going to be that simple. And I don't think Maggie can ever allow Negan just to be free, because that's just, maybe for herself to just let things go. But she'll never be okay with him around. And I think that should be fine. And I think the fans should be okay with Maggie feeling that way. But, people have different opinions. It's whatever. We do have this shot here of Negan, and we have the older Negan right here, which is just awesome. He's saying, little pig, let me in. And this is just Negan reminiscing about the past. And I guess that when he arrived at Alexandria, just who he used to be. Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be how Here's Negan starts, the episode. And I'm excited. I really am excited. We have this shot here of Maggie. I can't wait for this episode. I really can't. Again, I have probably skipped a lot here. There is so much stuff to talk about here, and I'm going to have to do breakdowns, I think, of each episode, what footage correlates with certain episodes, especially with Maggie, because I do think there's a lot more to talk about here. And even with Robert Patrick here, like, who is he? And like, we know it's only going to be a 1-episode thing, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely am excited. I think a lot of you guys definitely should be excited for this too. So I'll leave it here. I'll work on some other videos, just more in-depth stuff, but this is my reaction to the footage and breakdown of what we saw. So post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you are new here and you do want more Walking Dead content like this, just make sure to hit subscribe down below and leave a like if you like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.